Hi everyone, it's Simon Keeling here at weatherweb.net. Thanks for watching. It is Thursday, the 23rd of January. As always, the site here is kept free of charge by you coming back and using all the charts, because that means we can put more adverts in front of you, and by you watching the videos it generates a revenue, which means that we can keep it all free of charge. So thanks for watching. Now, big news is that it looks like cold's on the way next week. There's been some jumping around with the models, hasn't there? But it now looks like it's set in, and also rainfall is something else that we need to consider over the next few days. Localised flooding looks as if it's going to be a bit of a problem. So as far as temperature is concerned, this temperature chart for London from the GFS Ensemble, you notice here this fall off in temperatures, look, particularly in this period here as we go into next week. And really it's throughout next week that it stays pretty cold, 4 and 5 degrees predicted as maximum temperature. So I think it's going to be a colder spell than we've been used to. Certainly a winter spell, but not the depths of winter. You know, we're not talking Daily Express freezes here. We're just going into colder conditions. Now, it's not going to be an easterly that sets in, but it's going to be a westerly, and it's a cold westerly as well. What's happening is that the ridge in the Atlantic here and here, this is the ECMWF by the way on the left, this is the GFS on the right, 7 to 10 day means of the 500 millibar flow. So this is valid from next Thursday through to Sunday the 2nd. And what you notice here, look, is if you just trace back the jet here, it's actually coming in from these very cold parts of the northern parts of the States and Canada. It's pumping in this cold air all the time, which deepens the trough here across Europe. One of those cut-off short waves going through again, and as they go in, they pull in northeasterly winds at the surface across the British Isles, which in turn brings in cooler conditions. Now, I think what will happen is we'll get a hit of winter during next week, but it's just not going to last very long. So we'll get a few hours perhaps of sleet and perhaps even some snow at low levels. And some places probably are going to have a covering of snow, probably across the east and the south most of all. But they're just not going to last very long. But I think that could be the pattern of things to come for a week or so, particularly as this pattern evolves and gets set up with this strong jet stream. You know, the jet stream indicating unsettled conditions. We're on the northern side, so it's going to be cold. These short waves constantly coming in, going through, getting cut off, and then dragging in these northeasterlies. That seems to be the pattern. And good agreement between the models as well. Now, I said about it being wet, and I think wet it will be. This is the guide of total rainfall from the GFS, ending at midnight, well, the very end of the day, next Thursday. And you see here, look, totals across the west of Wales here, going up for 90 millimetres of rain plus here, 100 millimetres plus over the west of Scotland, and over more central and eastern areas we're still looking at 40 to 50 millimetres of rain. So as that jet comes in, as the low pressure areas sink south through the country and develop as they do so, I think things are going to become very wet. So you need to keep a very close eye out on flood warnings on this one. It's different to the flooding that we had during the Christmas New Year period, because that was tidal driven. This is more because of just the amount of water that's in the land at the moment. It doesn't take much for flooding to take place. And you see how it's mostly western and southern areas that suffer from most of it. Of course, we'll keep you updated day to day on how that develops. But the next focus is going to be next week. So this is the chart for midday on the 28th. And you notice this area of low pressure here. Look, notice the winds rotating around the area of low pressure too. And we've got a front that's lying through here. And that's got the rain associated with it that you can see here on the charts. Also another area of rain associated with it back here, and what's happening is cold air is just being dragged into this system all the time here, and it's cooling things off. Now, super critical will be what happens in the upper levels in terms of temperature, and we use the 850 temperatures to give us an idea of where snow is normally. Now, by looking at 850, which is about 5,000 feet, -5 is the line that we use, which is through here, to tell us that there's a chance of snow at the surface. Basically, it's a greater than 50% chance of precipitation reaching the surface as snow. However, when we're in a situation like this, where there's heavy rain, actually that figure is much reduced. So it can actually be that instead of -5, you look at -3. And if you look at the -3 figure, then actually it brings in much of southern England. Now, 12 hours on by 6 o'clock on Tuesday evening. So this is 6 o'clock next Tuesday evening, the 28th. The low is down across here, across the Low Countries, of course, it's moved over from here, so it's gone in that direction. Now, there's some discrepancy over exactly where this low is, but given the position of the low here, what would happen here is that these would be snow showers coming around the back of this low into northeast England through the Midlands as well, and snow and sleet will have cleared away, or sorry, I should say rain and sleet would have cleared away from the southeast, possibly turning to sleet. So and ice would be a big problem on this across Scotland and across Northern Ireland. So as that low moves through, there is the potential for winter precipitation. And notice here, look what's happened. We've got the -5 line now through there. This is the cold air coming into the back of the system. So it does look as if we could go into a spell of wintry weather during Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. Now, how it evolves after that, I have to say, is still a bit of a question mark on it. But it looks as if, from what we can see at the moment, that actually that pattern persists and we stay in this cool spell with an occasional low coming through, bringing in some wintry conditions. I stress again for the snow geese amongst you, this is not depths of winter stuff, okay? This is normal winter stuff. So we're not talking about, you know, horrendous conditions here by any means. It's just that it looks like we are going to get a hit of widespread rain, sleet and possibly some snow across the country during the early part of next week, particularly through Tuesday and potentially lasting into Wednesday as well. So I'm going to leave you with that for now. Potentially lots and lots going on here, and I'll give you a really full update on Friday. But for now, thanks for watching and keep the sun shining. Bye for now.